My father always leads by example. You know, his best advice to us growing up was always to follow happiness, and that will make you successful. Don't chase money and don't chase recognition for things, just chase your happiness. And I think that's the simple formula he uses to stay happy every day, and that's why he is so active, because he just loves to help people and reach out and give what he can in whatever capacity.
Well, Saratoga Plan was really fortunate that John Munter joined our board of directors, served on it for 8 years, including 2 years he served as the chair. And while John was on the board of directors, he made it his mission to share his love of this place, a place where he was born, where he raised his family with Rosemary, and knows how important it is to protect the quality of a place for our economic prosperity, our health, our environmental quality. And he shared that with all of the business colleagues that he had built up over the years.
When he commits to something, he commits. And I will say that John was a passionate board member of ours for 9 years, which is the longest anyone can serve on our board. And he was committed every single meeting for those 9 years. And he brought forth some ideas that were uncomfortable for us at first, but were absolutely relevant and made us a better organization.
You know, John is a 1959 graduate of Clarkson University. And I want to report on his impact on the community, not just here in Saratoga, but up in Potsdam. About a decade ago, he learned that we wanted to develop our riverfront. It was undeveloped, people couldn't see it. We wanted to put a trail along, and of course it eventually became Munter Trail. And so in that endeavor, John took the lead, and in fact, I would just kind of watch it out our kitchen window. And the first thing I saw was John arriving with his bulldozer towed up from Saratoga. And all of a sudden, trees started to disappear. Next, I'm looking out the window, and we are a not-for-profit institution. We don't pay local taxes. And all of a sudden, the village and the town have got their dump trucks there taking the stumps away. I'm thinking to myself, where's all this going? And then we find out that Stewart's owns property that's going to impede our progress for John to put the trail through to Maple Street. And he said, don't worry about it. So all of a sudden he said, well, I've talked to Bill Dake, and not only have we got an easement to go through that land, but he made a donation. And as a matter of fact, he said, you know, I think I left a little bit on the table. I think Bill would have given more. And so I just want to tell you that it's not just this community here in Saratoga that John and all the Munters have helped, but it's up in Potsdam. In fact, we just received a downtown revitalization initiative grant, $10 million. And I think John sowed the seeds of that grant 10 years ago with the way he pulled our community together.
So John, as an engineer, is a person who builds bridges, both literally and figuratively. And he worked on the Bog Meadow Trail 25 years ago when it was originally built, and then he helped expand it and rebuild it 2 years ago.
Yeah, my dad was never the suit and tie kind of guy, really. You know, you're going to find him in a pair of jeans and boots every day. You know, even at 81, he still comes into the office daily looking for the next challenge, and to lend a hand where we could use it. So he just doesn't stop.
So when the Boy Haven Scout Camp came up for sale a couple of years ago, we worked closely with the town of Milton to try and find a conservation solution for those 300 acres and mile of Caterhas Creek. And in the end, John took it on as his own private conservation project to be an interim buyer and to work through the process of conserving those 300 acres.
A couple of things jump out immediately to me. One is the fact that he analyzed who we were, how we were managing things, and realized very quickly that we needed the services of a plant engineer. And so we took his advice. We went out and hired our very first plant engineer, who 13 years later is still here, and we have fully realized the mission that John was sending us on. Another thing that comes to mind is the fact that We received a donation to purchase a generator at Woodlawn Commons, and John took that on as his own mission. He started sourcing for gently used generators. He started sourcing for where it was going to be located, how it was going to get hooked up, and he quickly found down in one of the Gulf states a generator that met his specs and got it trucked up to Saratoga Springs. And now we don't have to worry about darkness or interruption of power at Woodlawn Commons.
We're proud of the name that he's put in this community by giving what he does with his energy and his intellect. You know, it's not always about donating money, and I really feel like that's an attribute even to this award that he's honored to receive. Is it's, you know, really about people that just do things because they know it's right, because they know it's needed.
Of course, I think everybody in the room here tonight thinking about John, we know that he is just a dedicated community person. John knows everybody, he helps everybody, but mostly he puts that together and he gets people to help him get things done. That is a unique characteristic of John Munter, something that we're all proud about.
So John is a person who really understands community. He has built up a tremendous network of people he's helped over the years. He's always there to lend a hand, to share his resources, his time, his talent. He has a great sense of humor, a young spirit. He can work harder than anybody I've ever known. He has integrity, but most of all, John is known for his kindness. And we are thrilled that he is being recognized for his community service with this award.